A journey of courage and a feast of friendship. The story of the first Thanksgiving. Imagine a time long ago, over 400 years ago, when a small wooden ship called the Mayflower bobbed and swayed across a giant ocean. On board were brave families, men, women, and children, who we now call the Pilgrims. They were leaving their home in England, seeking a new land where they could build a new life and worship God in their own way. The journey was long and hard. For 66 days, the Mayflower was tossed by stormy seas. The Pilgrims were crowded into the small, damp spaces below deck, and many became sick. But they held on to hope, and finally one morning, a voice cried out, "Land!" They had reached a new world, a place they would call America. They landed at a place called Cape Cod, and before they even set foot on shore, the men gathered to sign an important paper called the Mayflower Compact. It was a promise to work together and make fair laws for their new community. This was a very special moment, the beginning of their new life together. After exploring the coast, they found a place to build their new home, which they named Plymouth. But their first winter was brutal. The air was bitterly cold, and they didn't have enough food. Many of the Pilgrims grew weak and sick, and sadly, about half of them did not survive that first long, hard winter. When spring finally arrived, bringing with it the warmth of the sun, the Pilgrims who remained were filled with a glimmer of hope. One day, a tall Native American man walked bravely into their small village and said, "Welcome." His name was Massasoit. The Pilgrims were surprised and a little scared, but Massasoit was friendly. He soon brought another friend with him, a man named Squanto. Squanto was a member of the Wampanoag tribe, and he could speak English. He had been taken to England years before, and his story was long and amazing. For the Pilgrims, Squanto was a gift from God. He became their teacher and a true friend. He showed them how to plant corn in the sandy soil, a special trick of burying a small fish with the seeds to help the plants grow big and strong. He taught them where to catch the best fish and how to hunt for deer and other animals in the forest. He showed them which berries were safe to eat and which plants could be used for medicine. Thanks to Squanto's help, the Pilgrims began to thrive. The leader of the Wampanoag people was a wise and powerful chief named Massasoit. Through Squanto, the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag made a promise to live in peace and help each other. This friendship was a true blessing for the struggling colony. As the summer turned to fall, the Pilgrims' hard work paid off. Their gardens were overflowing with corn, beans, and pumpkins. They had learned to hunt and fish, and they had built sturdy homes. Their hearts were filled with gratitude for their survival and their newfound friends. To celebrate their wonderful harvest and to give thanks for all their blessings, the Pilgrims decided to have a special feast. The governor of Plymouth, William Bradford, invited Chief Massasoit and his people to join them. The celebration lasted for 3 whole days. It was a time of great joy and friendship. The Pilgrims and the Wampanoag shared food and stories. The Wampanoag hunters brought 5 deer to share, a generous gift that fed everyone. The tables were piled high with delicious food. There was roasted duck and goose, juicy deer meat, venison, sweet corn, and tasty shellfish. They ate, played games, and enjoyed each other's company. This special feast, a time of sharing and giving thanks between 2 different groups of people, is what we now remember as the first Thanksgiving. It was a beautiful moment in history, a reminder of how courage, friendship, and a grateful heart can bring people together to celebrate the good things in life. The Pilgrims had traveled a long and dangerous road, but in their new home, they had found not only a place to live, but also the kindness of friends who helped them along the way.